أبنائي وبناتي الأعزاء طلاب كورس الجورناليزم رايتنج اند ريبورتنج، أهلا بكم في محاضرتنا الثانية أونلاين. This and the following lecture are on sources of information. In these lectures we discuss the ethics of gathering and using information. We talk about ways of judging reliability of different sources. We examine the use of information given on the record and off the record and so on. News is happening all the time. People are being born or dying, banks are being robbed, roads, of course, are being planned, companies are making profits or losses, storms are destroying homes, courts are sending people to jail or freeing them, scientists are discovering new drugs. Every minute of every day, of course, there's something newsworthy is happening somewhere in the world. Your job as a journalist is to get information on events and to present it to your readers or listeners. But you can't be everywhere all the time to see those events for yourself. So you need other sources, other ways of getting information on all those hundreds, maybe thousands and millions of events you can't witness yourself. When someone or something provides you with information, we call them a source. Sources of information can be people, letters, books, files, tapes, in fact, anything which journalists use to put news stories together. Sources are very important, very important if you want to report on events or issues and explain the world to your audience. Journalists try to work as much as possible from their own observations, but this is not enough. It's often impossible to do this for yourself. Some events or issues are finished before the journalists get there. So others are like plants which only show their stem and leaves above the ground. The all important roots are hidden from sight. Journalists who only report what they see can miss much of the news unless they have sources to tell them of more details or other aspects which are not or which are out of sight. So journalists who only report what they see can miss much of the news unless they have sources to tell them of more details or other aspects which are more of sight. يبقى إذن الصحفي مش ممكن أبدا إن هو يلاحظ كل الأحداث ذات القيمة الإخبارية اللي هو محتاج إن هو ينشرها في الصحيفة بتاعته، لكن في بعض الأحيان بيبقى محتاج sources of information و trustworthy طبعا يعني لازم يكون موثوق فيهم بشكل او باخر عشان يمدوه ببعض الاحداث اللي هو مش قادر يحضرها او ما يقدرش يدون اوبزرفيشنز خاصه بيه فيها. وهذه السورسز اوف انفورميشن بتكون مفيده جدا ليه علشان يكون ملم بالاحداث الكتير قوي اللي بتحصل حواليه واللي مطلوب منه ان هو يغطيها للصحيفه بتاعته. عندنا types of sources، عندنا أنواع من sources. الحقيقة journalists should deal in reliable facts, so it's important that the sources we use for writing stories can give you accurate information, of course, about what happened or what was said. But just as there are lots of different news events, so there are many different sources of information. Some of them will give you very accurate information, and we call those sources reliable because we can rely on what they say. Others are less reliable but still useful for you, while some can hardly be trusted at all. And the main way of judging sources here, sources of information of course, is on their reliability. يبقى احنا عندنا ثلاث حقيقة أشكال أو أنواع من المصادر. بعضها reliable يمكن الاعتماد عليه وده مهم جدا، بعضها أقل less reliable وده ممكن برضو نستفيد منه بشكل أو بآخر، والبعض الآخر اللي هو المفروض يتعمل له checking أو double checking أو cross checking اللي هو hardly to be trusted، اللي هو من الصعب إن احنا نثق فيه بمجرد إن هو ما يتكلم عن موضوع معين. First kind are reporters. Reporters, one of the most reliable sources of information, although not completely reliable, but they are very important for us, which are other journalists. They may be your colleagues, your reporters from a news agency which supplies your organization. If they are well trained, experienced, and objective, the reporters will usually be accurate and can be trusted. يبقى if they are well trained مدربين وعندهم خبرة كويسة وموضوعيين ممكن جدا نعتمد على التقارير الخاصة بهم. However, if there are any essential facts missing from the reports, these will have to be provided. Either they will have to provide them or you will have to find the missing parts or the missing facts yourself. Mistakes can happen. This is why news organizations should have a system for checking facts. A reporter's story should be checked by the news editor, then the sub-editor. يعني في مراحل هنتكلم عنها بعد كده لchecking الفاكتس دي. In small news rooms, في النيوز رومز الصغيرة where the reporter may also be the editor or newspaper or news reader, sorry, the reporter must be especially careful in checking facts الحقيقة. There's also the danger that reporters misinterpret what they think they see and then present that as a fact. You see فعلا رؤية أو تحقيق ما رآه من أحداث معينة ويقدمها على أنها حقيقة. This often happens when reporting such things as the size of crowd, of course, unable to count every person in it. They make an estimate of often sharing their guesses with other journalists on the scene. This is just an estimate, and any report can say there was 40, maybe 50,000 people present. Should be treated with caution unless the reporter knows the exact number who came through the gate. All sources, including reporters, are said to be reliable if we think they can be believed. يعني ممكن نصدقهم لأن reliability هي built up over time، بتتبني مع الوقت. If source is always correct in the information they provide, you will believe them next time. If they make a mistake, we may doubt what they say in the future. Your personal reliability as a journalist is important. If you have a good record for fair and accurate reporting, of course you will be believed. If you get a reputation of being careless in your work or biased in your interpretation in your reporting, your colleagues, readers, or listeners will not be able to rely upon what you said. In all cases, it's better only to report what you know and make it clear in your report that everything else is either an estimate, an opinion, or the word of someone else, perhaps a witness. لازم تكون واضح جدا وانت بتعمل الريبورتنج بتاعك وتأكد ايه هو الفاكتس وايه هي التقديرات او الاستيميشنز او الاوبينيونز او الاراء او وجهات نظر الويتنسز اللي كانوا موجودين. You must always try to give precise facts and attribute opinion. If you can do that, you can use phrases like it's believed that, okay, or it appears that, or it's better to do that than to leave your readers listeners believe that what you have said is a proven fact. من الافضل انك تستخدم تعبيرات زي دي علشان توضح للقارئ او للمستمع بتاعك انك مش بتقدم الحقيقة، لكن بتقدم guesses او بتقدم بعض الاراء الاوبينيونز او الاستيميشنز اللي هي مش مبنية على حقيقة ثابتة. عندنا النوع الاساسي في السورسز الحقيقه اللي بعد الريبورترز طبعا اللي اتكلمنا عنهم، البرايمري سورسز. Often the source is someone at the center of the event or issue. We call such people primary sources. البرايمري سورس هو السورس اللي هو اساس العمل، الاكتور الرئيسي، الفاعل الرئيسي في الحدث، اللي هو بيتمركز الحدث حوله، فده بنسميه البرايمري سورس او السورس الاساسي، وده مهم جدا. might be a man who fell 1000 meters from an aircraft and lived to tell the tale, or a union leader who is leading wage negotiations. Of course, are usually the best sources of information about the part of what happened. They should be able to give you accurate details and also supply strong comments. The fall, maybe مثلا يعني for example, the fall survivor might say, saw the ground rushing up towards me and I kept thinking, oh, so this is this. And the union leader might warn, if the employers want blood on their hands, we are ready to supply it. دي بعض الحاجات اللي ممكن يقولوها وتكون مهمة بالنسبة لنا في الشغل بتاعنا. Of course, just because the person was present at an event does not mean that they are either accurate or fair. The fall survivor, for instance, may have injured his head after landing and so be confused, and the union leader will want to present his side in the best light. So it's vital to double check and cross check facts with other sources. A word of warning here: if any of your sources, however reliable, gives you information which is defamatory, you can still be taken to court for using it. So, be aware. You are responsible for deciding whether or not to publish the defamatory material. كل المواد اللي ممكن ان هو يبقى تتضمن نوع من انواع الاساءة فيها سب او قذف او غيره، انت لسه هتظل معلقة في رقبتك كصحفي وانت بتتعامل مع ما بتقدرش تقول ان دي كان رأي السورس ده او رأي السورس ده، لان انت قابلت بيها وقابلت انك انت تنشرها. Written sources. Not all primary sources will be spoken. Written reports can make an excellent source of information for a journalist. They are usually written after a lot of research by the authors. They have been checked for accuracy and are usually published with official approval. However, just because information is printed, that does not mean it's reliable. طبعا with typewriters, computers and modern technology, it's relatively easy to produce printed material. You must look at who has produced the document. Are they in a position to know enough about the topic and have access to the reliable facts? Do they have a reputation for reliability? Of course, it's questions for yourself. This is especially important with information on the internet. Anyone can put information onto the internet. And unless you know how trustworthy they are, you can't judge the reliability of what they write. One advantage of the internet is that you can quickly cross-check numerous sources, but beware, mistake on one site can easily and rapidly be repeated by people writing on other sites. دي المشكلة، دي المعضلة الحقيقة، ان انت عندك مصادر كبيرة جدا من المعلومات على الانترنت، ولكن كن في غاية الحذر وانت بتعمل تشيكينج للسورسز اللي على الانترنت دي، لان سورس واحد منهم كتب حاجة غلط ممكن ان تنتقل بشكل متواليات هندسية بشكل كبير على الشبكة كلها، وبتصبح كأنها الحقيقة وهي فيها أخطاء فعلية. Even major online reference such as Wikipedia rely on volunteers writing the entries and checking their accuracy. And there have been numerous cases of people using entries in Wikipedia and other online reference works to spread untruths. يبقى خلينا واضحين ان حتى الويكيبيديا اللي البعض فينا بيثق فيها بشكل كبير هي خاضعه للفولunteers اللي بيكتبوا، ممكن جدا يكونوا بيكتبوا او بيزوروا عن قصد او بدون قصد بعض الحقائق اللي موجوده على الشبكه العنكبوتيه. Leaked documents. Here you may occasionally be given documents which have not been officially released to the press. الليكد اللي هي الوثائق اللي هي المسربة. They may be given to you by someone in a company, government, department who does not want to be seen giving them to the media. We call these leaked documents. Leaked documents are often excellent sources of news stories because they can contain information which someone wants to keep secret. Documents are often leaked by people who believe that the public should know the content, such as an environmental report and so on, but who are unable to reveal this document in public themselves, perhaps because they don't have the authority to do so. In some cases, documents are leaked by a person to gain an advantage over someone else, perhaps someone who is criticized in the report, and so on. In all cases, as I said, leaked documents are often excellent sources of news stories because they can contain information which someone wants to keep secret. This might be a plan to do something which the public might oppose, such as bulldozing homes to make a new road. ان انت هتكسر بيوت عشان تبني طريق جديد وفي تسريب بكده، ففي وثيقة بهذا الكلام. مثلا it might be a report on corruption within an organization which the heads of that organization do not want to be publicly known. طبعا مش عايزين يتعرفوا. Just because government, company or other group does not want information to be known, that does not mean that you should not report it. Of course يعني مش معناها ان هم مش عايزين الحقيقة تطلع او مش عايزينها تتعرف، معناها انك انت ما تنشرهاش لان هي هتضرهم، لكن انت هتفيد المجتمع بنشرها. If you believe that it's important to inform your readers or listeners of certain facts, you must do that, even if the information was given to you unofficially. Of course, like any information, leaked documents must still be checked for accuracy before they can be used. مش معنى انها وثيقة مسربة انك تفرح بيها وتبقى حققت انتصار صحفي، برضو لازم تخضع للchecking for accuracy before it can be used. There are also legal dangers to consider when using leaked documents. They might, for instance, have been stolen. Yeah, it's usually an offense to receive stolen property. If you think it could have been stolen, even if it is only a few sheets of paper, maybe photocopying the document then returning it often a way to overcome this problem. يعني مش لازم تاخد الوثيقة، تصور الوثيقة وبعد كده ترجع الوثيقة الأصلية يبقى أنت عندك فوتوكوبي من الوثيقة. برضو leaked documents could be covered by copyright, so you could be breaking the law by quoting directly from them. You are on safer ground in reporting the substance of what was said in your own words. مفيش مشكلة انك مش لازم تاخد نصا من الوثيقة يا اخي، لكن ممكن تقراها وتقول الملخص بتاعها الاساسي اللي انت هتستفيد منه. ده فيما يتعلق بالبرايمري سورسز. الحقيقة عندنا نوع اخر مهم جدا نتكلم فيه سريعا النهاردة، اللي هو secondary sources. Secondary sources are those people who do not make the news but who pass it on. The official police report of an incident or comments by someone press officer can be called secondary sources. هي مصادر أقل أهمية من ال primary sources شوية، بس secondary sources are not usually are as reliable as primary sources، مش بنفس طبعا الدرجة اللي يمكن الاعتماد عليها فيها. Most eyewitnesses should be treated as secondary sources for journalists because although they are able to tell what they think they have seen, they are often not trained for such work and can be very inaccurate without meaning to be. يعني الحقيقة هذه المصادر بالذات ممكن جدا قد تكون شافت أحداث مهمة أو شافت أدلة معينة أو شواهد معينة، لكن هي بتنقلها من وجهة نظرها الشخصية، وبالتالي ممكن تتدخل أشياء كثيرة منها الاتيتيودز بتاعتها والجادج والحاجات دي كلها، تتدخل بشكل أو بآخر في رؤيتها للحدث من المكان اللي كانت موجودة فيه، وهي مش مدربة على إنها تكون تتعامل بشكل في objectivity مثلا، بشكل موضوعي مثلا في التعامل مع الحدث، فممكن تنقل لك الحدث بشكل خاطئ، وبالتالي احنا بنتعامل معها بشيء من الحذر. You have to assess the reliability of secondary sources if it's necessary to tell your readers or listeners where the information came from. احنا هنا لازم نعمل attribution ليها للمعلومات اللي جاية أو الشهادات اللي جاية من السكندري سورسز، لأنها ممكن جدا تكون من وجهة نظرهم، وبالتالي أنا بوضح إن دي وجهة نظر الويتنس ده مش وجهة نظري أنا في الحدث أو في الموضوع اللي بتعامل معاه. Okay, that's all for our lecture today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.